Welcome to the hidden blue pearl of Morocco, a city draped in indigo dreams, perched in the Rif Mountains, and steeped in centuries of history and mystique. This is Chefchaouen, a place where legends echo through narrow alleys, where Moorish and Andalusian influences meet, and where every wall, window, and step whispers stories of exile, resistance, and rebirth. Today, we journey through the remarkable story of Chefchaouen, from its medieval roots to its role in the shifting sands of North African history, and its vibrant modern identity as a global icon of beauty, culture, and peace. Chefchaouen was founded in 1471 by Sharif Moulay Ali ben Rachid el-Alami, a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. This foundation wasn't born from grandeur, but from necessity. It was a military fortress created to defend the region from Portuguese invasions along Morocco's northern coast. The Kasbah, or fortress, at the heart of the town still stands today. Its high ochre walls contrast against the city's signature blue, standing as a testament to Chefchaouen's original role: resistance. Soon after its founding, the fortress attracted Muslim and Jewish refugees fleeing the Spanish Reconquista. When the Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella completed the reconquest of Al-Andalus in 1492, thousands of Andalusi Muslims and Sephardic Jews were expelled from Spain. Many found sanctuary in North Africa. Among the places they settled, Chefchaouen became a symbol of refuge, a haven in the mountains. The cultural fingerprints of Al-Andalus are everywhere in Chefchaouen. The architectural style, whitewashed buildings, narrow winding streets, tiled patios, and fountains, is reminiscent of southern Spain's Granada or Cordoba. But it's not just aesthetics. The city's very identity is shaped by its Andalusian settlers. These exiles brought with them their music, poetry, food, and urban planning sensibilities. They introduced intricate craftsmanship, elaborate textiles, and a deep appreciation for beauty and symmetry in domestic and public spaces. Even the layout of the Medina, chaotic yet harmonious, is a direct continuation of the Moorish traditions they preserved. Chefchaouen was not merely a city of exiles. It became a living museum of lost Al-Andalus, preserved high in the Moroccan mountains. One question continues to mesmerize visitors from around the world. Why is Chefchaouen blue? There are many theories. One widely accepted belief is that the Jewish refugees who settled here in the 15th century introduced the tradition of painting buildings blue, a color symbolizing the heavens, divinity, and peace in Jewish mysticism. Others say the blue keeps mosquitoes away, as it is thought to resemble flowing water, which insects tend to avoid. Some argue it's a symbol of resistance and resilience, or a metaphor for the sky and freedom. Yet others believe it simply reflects a long-standing aesthetic choice that brings coolness and serenity to the streets. Whatever the origin, the result is magical. A city awash in every shade of blue, from the softest azure to the deepest cobalt. This blue aesthetic has become the city's global trademark, transforming it from an obscure mountain town to a photographic and spiritual destination. For centuries, Chefchaouen remained hidden, geographically and politically. The city was closed to foreigners, especially Christians, well into the 20th century. This isolation was deliberate. It helped preserve its Islamic and Amazigh character in a rapidly changing and colonized world. One of the few Europeans to enter Chefchaouen during this period was the famous French explorer Charles de Foucauld, who disguised himself as a rabbi in 1883 to document the city. His visit was brief and perilous, underscoring how fiercely the locals guarded their town. This isolation wasn't just protectionist, it was symbolic. Chefchaouen resisted assimilation and foreign domination, a stance that would define its position in modern Moroccan history. In 1920, The Spanish army occupied Chefchaouen as part of the establishment of the Spanish protectorate in northern Morocco. This ushered in a new chapter, one of upheaval and modernization. The Spanish presence introduced European administrative systems, new schools, and road networks, but also imposed colonial control over indigenous Amazigh and Arab populations. During this time, Chefchaouen became a symbolic site of Moroccan resistance. In the 1920s, it played a role in the famous Rif War, in which Abd el-Krim led Amazigh tribes against the Spanish and French colonial powers. Though the rebellion was eventually crushed, it laid the groundwork for Morocco's independence struggle. Chefchaouen was eventually reintegrated into the newly independent Moroccan state in 1956. But even after independence, it remained relatively underdeveloped, almost forgotten in the shadow of more prominent Moroccan cities like Fez, Marrakech, or Casablanca. In the late 20th century, something unexpected happened. Travelers, especially backpackers and artists, began to rediscover Chefchaouen. Drawn by its tranquility, its surreal blue aesthetic, and its authenticity, a new generation of visitors breathed life into the old Medina. Soon, Chefchaouen became a favorite among European tourists, Instagram influencers, and travel bloggers. It was no longer just a place of history. It became a global brand. Boutique riads, artisan shops, photography tours, and yoga retreats started to spring up. The local economy began to shift from subsistence agriculture to tourism and craft production. But with fame came challenge. Managing tourism while preserving cultural integrity became a critical balancing act for the town's leaders and residents. Despite its international fame, Chefchaouen is still very much a living city, not a museum frozen in time. Its population of around 40,000 people is made up of Amazigh, Berber, Arab, and Andalusi-descended families. Many residents speak Arabic, Tamazight, Spanish, and increasingly English. Artisans continue traditional crafts like wool weaving, embroidery, leatherwork, and basketry. Families still gather in public squares to chat over mint tea. Community remains central to daily life. Religious traditions such as Sufi festivals and the call to prayer echoing through the mountains are still very much alive. The blue walls may attract tourists, but the heart of Chefchaouen remains Moroccan. With popularity comes responsibility. Chefchaouen now faces real environmental and cultural threats. Mass tourism has increased waste, strained water resources, and led to unregulated construction. Traditional homes are sometimes remodeled for short-term rentals, changing the face of the Medina. But there is hope. Local NGOs and city leaders have started sustainability programs. From plastic reduction campaigns to community cleanups and education initiatives. The goal is clear: to preserve Chefchaouen not just as a postcard-perfect town, but as a thriving, self-sustaining community where history lives alongside progress. Chefchaouen is more than its walls. It is a story of refuge and resilience, a story of exile and survival, a story of identity painted not in black and white, but in every hue of blue. It is a city that invites you to slow down, to wander, to reflect. From the call of the muezzin echoing off the mountain cliffs, to the soft shuffle of slippers on cobblestones, to the scent of jasmine and oranges in the air, Chefchaouen is an experience, a memory, a living dream. And perhaps that's what makes it so special. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. See you soon.